Fuego.
All right, everybody. Welcome back for another amazing episode of the
Podcast.
Thanks, Lil Homie. And in this week's episode, Lou and I just kind of talked about a bunch of different things. We kind of hodgepodged a bunch of different topics we thought would be fun to talk about together. Didn't even really have a structure of the episode. Didn't even really talk about anything just specific beforehand. We just started letting it go and ended up leading us to a place of, talking about how we set up our days, how me as a father of two, a husband to a wife who busts her ass all day doing stuff for the household, being somebody who owns a business and works a full-time job and all this stuff, like how we start to organize our days and also our nights. And then that got us into a whole nother conversation. It's pretty cool how this episode ended up. So I'll leave it at that and let you all just listen and see where it went. But before we hop into the episode, let me give a shout out to our sponsors. Thank you, Lair Skate Park and Skate Shop. We love you guys and are so excited to keep doing things with you throughout this entire year. Mantecoso Skateboards. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep showing love to the community. And the community, go show some love back. Batch Roast & Co. Thank you for keeping my mornings fueled and feeling good. Love you guys. All right, if you want to check out any of these amazing companies, make sure you go down in the description below and you'll be able to find any of the links mentioned and also anything else we mentioned in the episode. You can also find there. Now, without further ado, enjoy this week's episode.
Hold up, Johnny. Fuck.
True. Yeah, I'm happy we're kind of on.
It's my CBD, baby.
Hello. We bring in just like half the episodes, just choo, motherfucker.
We're so dumb because it's not even like someone's in the background like, all right, guys, it's getting live. We have to go now. We're like, shit, let's scramble to get stoned. We're doing this ourselves. Like the
countdown's right in front of us. Let's do it.
We hit the countdown button. I'm like, oh, shit. I didn't know it was coming.
Oh. Gotta hit it real quick. Got 3 seconds. Start hitting the bowl.
Gotta get straight for the audience. You know what I mean? It's not easy life waking up at like 6 a.m. and not having kids and anything and just not having a job to be at and just putting a robe on. Like, no one gets how hard this life is, bro. It's not easy doing nothing all day long. You got to find things to do. You got to battle with your mind to get things done. I mean, you guys just don't get it.
That's actually, you know what, though? Low-key, though, like, I see that. I mean, like, I'm forced, bro. Like, I'm forced into it because, like, my free time, if I want to do anything with my life, like, I have, it's easy. I have to do it. Like, dude, I have to do it.
I'm not kidding. Like, before what I was saying, I was joking. Like, for me to complain about that, I'd smack this shit out of myself. But, that being said, not having a schedule, like, that for me is the hardest thing going from a day job that's, you show up to work. Like, the day job, I show up to work, and they're like, Lou, this is what you have to do today. And I do it, and I crush it. That's why I was so good there. Like, no question. Like, the foreman never had to worry, how's Lou doing? Otherwise, like, did he get in trouble with someone else? Like, it was always, the work was great. It was like, if I got a phone call, like, did he yell at someone? Did he rip his finger off? But it was, but it was never like an issue with me doing my job. Now, transitioning to where you're doing it yourself, you're not waking up and showing up somewhere at 7 a.m. and being like, all right, this is what you got to do today. It's like, and then you know how it is. You get in your head of like, all right, should I spend like a half hour learning more, or should I spend some time doing this more? And then a half hour goes by and like, well, I did nothing. All right. And then like you're so burnt from all that thinking about nothing because you're thinking about doing something, you never did it. And now you're burnt because you're still thinking. Like, we don't think about it like that. Mm-hmm. Oh, God. And it's
a trip, man. I think the first time I really experienced that was when like I got the gym inside of Third, and like I had, like, if I wanted to make it happen, I was like, all right, well, I'm going to show up here every morning at 5 a.m. because I had a key and stuff, and I was going to do all of this stuff. And then without, like, when you just don't have a plan or whatever, like the schedule you're saying, it's just like you just sit there and you get in your own head about it, like, quite a bit. So perspective, man, definitely. Because I don't think that – because, like, we were just saying before we started recording, like, I'm dusted this morning just because it's like – and that's why I was just like, let's kick back, have a kickback episode because I – just all the back end work I've been doing for the website for anybody.
You've been crushing it lately.
Yeah.
crushing. So for like, that's what you tell me, like, yo, this morning when you didn't text me at fucking 6 a.m. my time, which is like 5.
Oh, fuck yeah, he's sleeping in.
No, I was like, all right. See, and then when you didn't text me like 6:45, I was like, oh, if he's sleeping, I will be so happy for him. And then I text you, and you hit me up right back. I'll be right there. I'm like, oh, he was doing something. And then we're like, dude, I had some time, and I did. And then you were like, I watched this movie. I'm like, that is awesome. Like, do that.
Yeah, well, because it was like
balance.
Yeah, because I had to get myself like back on like a regular schedule because it was like I was staying up so fucking late, dude, doing that website stuff. Because like, of course, like I'm not gonna sit down here like all day when I have a family and stuff, like, and just like even like sit upstairs and like neglect that, just like sitting here doing website stuff. It's like I know like if I want to make this happen, I got to find that time for myself, and I make it happen. So then, you know, trying to get everything done we're trying to get done for our clients and stuff with the website, you know. Anybody who coaches with us, giving them that like specialized coaching hub that took a lot of work. Did I turn into like literally a program, like website programmer for like a whole week? Was just in that mofo, deep in that shit,
dude. I can't even send an email without flipping out.
deep in that shit, dude, I'm telling you. And it was just like I was doing all that, plus like training these people, like getting everything kind of going for this whole Phoenix trip we're going to be taking and all that and stuff, and just everything, just moving parts, right? Keeping everything moving. And like I realized like I was starting to burn the candle at both ends. I was like, all right, man, like you need to reset and like get yourself back on schedule. And now that like that's done, refocus, figure out the list of things you want to get done, go to sleep on time, wake up at 3:30 like you always do, no matter how dusted you feel. I woke up and then
earlier than Jocko Willink, for everyone out there, by the way. He's been waking up since I've known you. You fucking, that's why I say all the time, like, no offense to all the phenomenal family in Prescript, but like, you know, everyone's taking pictures of the time they wake up. I'm like, my boy over here, D's been waking up since 3:30 in the morning, not telling anybody, and I love it.
Behind the scenes, dude. Because like I wake up, I just do my own shit. Like I need to though. That's the thing. Because like if I want to be, if we want XSF to be anything, like I gotta be in the skate game, in online space, all this stuff. But like, I also very much so respect my own time, like to myself, and wake up, you know, did my mobility stuff. Cause I like committed like recently to like, all right, I need to do something every morning. Like I realized like that's a big thing for me, at least personally, like whether I actually do my actual training session. Cause I can train, like not everybody can do this, but I can train wake up at 3:30 and be training by like 4:15, 4:30, depending on like how slow I move in the morning, you know, get my coffee, just kind of get moving and stuff for the morning. But whether I do that and I actually do like a whole training session, or I move, I get on the elliptical when it's too cold to go walk, because I don't give a fuck. I ain't bundling up and going out in negative 20 degree weather and walking. I'm taking my ass on the elliptical. I'll wait till it warms up a little bit. And that's just being honest as fuck.
And he's still doing the elliptical too. So I'm just not going to do anything. It's too cold.
It's like just get moving and stuff, you know. And I was just like, all right, cool, that's done. And then, you know, did my little like journaling thing I always do, and then like took my shower or whatever. And I was like, all right.
What kind of journaling do you do?
So that's something I explored into more recently. So I kind of took a break from it, right? I used to just do like gratitude stuff, or I would just write down like a whole page of just stuff I could think of to be just like, all right, cool. Like I have a lot to be thankful for. Mm-hmm. But then, you know, that only goes so far, because like you just get into like the repetition of it, I noticed, and it's just like you just keep saying like the same thing over and over and over and over, which is great. It, you know, brings it to the attention. But I heard a podcast recently on, I believe it's the Hybrid podcast. Mm-hmm. Forgot who they had on, I can't remember, but it was a recent one. They had this sports like psychologist on or whatever, and she was talking about journaling, and the way that they go about it is they like program journaling. So like for a week block, you have a specific thing you are then journaling about. So like last week was like all kind of like gratitude stuff, but like in a different way, like just literally letting the big thing is like 5-minute timer. That's it. And I just go. Like my handwriting, if you see my handwriting, it's very, very, very precise and neat. But when I do this stuff, it's just chicken scratch, because I'm actually just like bringing my thoughts to the paper without letting like myself stop and think about it. And I just have like that certain thing that I'm journaling about. This morning was, you know, pretty much I chose this week to journal about like things that make me happy. So it's just like simple as that. And I just from that, I jump on the paper and I just start going. And then it's just like, I might list like one thing that makes me super happy, but then I just go deep into like the why and how and just everything I can break down about it. And I've noticed like that's been very beneficial for me, more than like doing just like the gratitude and like that type of stuff. But that's just like new for me. It's something I've like recently kind of started implementing again, but I like it.
Yeah, journaling's fantastic. I ask because I'm
it's kept me going these last like fucking 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so.
dude. I used to do it a lot, then I stopped. I'm very on off with it, you know. I always like feel like I'm journaling in my head.
Most people are.
Yeah, but I just
like
got into a new form of it. Still with gratitude. It always seems to be gratitude is the best way to go with journaling. And the way you would just explain it too is like the unconscious. No, I can't think of the right term, but you're just letting it flow. You're letting thoughts flow without thinking about them. You just let them flow. That's just getting it all out.
Me, I have to. Like, I'm so analytical.
Exactly.
I'll stop and think about everything.
So, and that too, it helps do that. But another great way, like I'm starting to look into Chuck Poliquin, a G himself, R.I.P. And his method of journaling would be, and he would, like in the morning, he would. I think it was 3 or 5 things that he was grateful for that day, as if they happened already. You know what I'm saying? To set himself up where he's like, now I just show up. Where I'd be like, I'm so grateful that I wrote such an amazing article today about hamstrings, you know, and he'd be so specific. It'd be down to the T, but, you know, that's complexity, different levels. And then it'd be like, whatever it else is. I had a phenomenal walk with my kid or whatever it is, you know, because it's setting you up to go do those things. Because you're already acting, you're setting your body up as if you did it already. Like you're writing about it as if it's done already in the morning. And then I forgot the night thing that he did. But he did another night. I think it was just a review of the day, like where he could have been better, things like that. But it's a review of the night of the day, I believe. And then in the morning, it's like gratitude on things that have happened that day that you're going to go do. Because then it's always something new, too. It gets rid of that repetitive thought like you had earlier. Because we do, like a lot of times we do that gratitude stuff. We'll just constantly keep going to the obvious, like, you know, mom, dad, brother, house, water, kids, this, that, and, you know, but it's like the things you did to, like, I'm so grateful I banged out website shit or whatever, you know what I mean? And then when you go do that shit, you feel better.
A good point.
Yeah. That's one of his styles.
That's actually solid advice because that really does, like, that just kind of goes into like visualization almost to me too. Like you're visualizing your day ahead of time and like, all right, these are the things like I will be grateful for today. And like you said, it just puts you like, all right, cool. Now it's going to happen. I just have to actually show up and do that. Yeah. Speaking of the nightcap thing, you know, I don't journal, but you know me, I fell in love with Notion. No affiliation with these people, but man, I fell in love with this fucking website.
So true. So, holy shit. So you should. If they don't sponsor you at some point, just you individually, not even XSF, Devante himself.
Telling you,
son. Oh my God! I remember like when you opened it up, your eyes lit up like, oh, dude, this is what I was wanted my whole life. Oh my God, I could put everything in here. The whole organization of my entire existence right here on one website. Look what you've done for me. Notion.
Makes it
my goodness, this is mind-blowing. That's how it seemed when you first looked at Notion. I picked all that up. You became a British lady who was really into a website.
I think that really is kind of like where my brain went from too. So like, because like it's just so organized, bro. I fucking love it. I love it.
I know.
That's a big thing for me. It's just being organized because it's like that helps me get rid of like all the fucking gunk in my brain though. Because like me, it's like if I'm not organized, then like all those things I have organized are fucking in here, and I can't like think of stuff we got to do, like shit that needs to get done, like shit that actually like really matters. Like there's shit that like happens now with business that's just on repeat. It just has to fucking happen, right? It's the bottom line. But if I don't have those somewhere and organized, like that just messes me up completely. So like fucking love it for that reason. Why I brought them up is because like I have like a task list, right? And I have it split up. So I have like daily task, weekly task. I have things to get done with a Z. You already know. Thangs, not things. Thangs.
Kidding me?
Thangs to get done.
Spelling things properly over here for. Fuck out of here.
Fucking thangs, G. Come on now. You already know. Dude, have to. It gets me hyped. It's just one of those things I look at for myself and I'm like,
it's making life enjoyable in every aspect by literally switching up things, business, shit like that, taking over the world, like
business,
throwing shit in. So when like you're like, if you are like really like stressed out, you go to Notion, you see shit like that, it gives you a little goof.
I'm like,
gives you a little goof for the moment. You're like,
and that's the thing is like
chilling again.
Like at night, like I won't. Maybe I'll start journaling. I don't even think I really need to, because it's just like a thought process for me. Is like I'll sit down. I need to get better at like, I'm really good at my morning routine, but I definitely need to like get better at a night routine, just because like I know if I do stuff just like I do in the morning, it'll like set me up for like the right bedtime
and the next day.
Staying up. Exactly. So like that's the thing is like I'll look over my Notion stuff. Like I just more recently started doing this. My list was kind of like all over the place, but I just organized it more for myself. And like I'll look over that and like see like, okay, daily stuff. Like daily stuff is more so like personal things for me. Like what do I want to make sure I'm doing on a daily basis? You know, that's that morning movement. That's 1 hour dedicated to learning something that's going to make me a better coach. And then I also have like 1 hour of stuff that's for clients each day, because that's what I want to do, like on our website, like how we have that special stuff for like our coaching clients and all that, you know. And then I have read 10 pages of a personal book, because I want to like take myself outside of fitness and stuff too and read a bunch of other things. So, you know, that's a big thing for me, but starting at 10 pages, because, you know, I think that's smart to like have a specific number, even if you did 5 or you did 10 minutes, however it is, like figure out what works best for you. Because like for me, like, and I also have those set up so it's like morning, like the morning movement, check over my task list, and I have like the hour of learning, you know, this stuff, and then it goes down, and then I have like review task list again, and then read my book, right? So like it's kind of like, all right, review the task list. Did I get through all the things I wanted to make sure I personally did today? If nothing, if it's not all checked off, or I can't check it all off, like, all right, why didn't that happen? Then I kind of sit there and I think about it. But I think it would be beneficial to sit down and like then write that down, because of course then you have a log to go back to, just like anything in fitness when it comes to tracking reps and sets and all that shit. And
metrics,
you can track this as reps and sets and go back and be like, okay, this lines up. This makes more sense. But
I gotta start doing that shit.
It's a valid point.
Because you know what my problem is, like, I've read all these fucking ways. I know them all, not all, I know a ton of, you know, how to set yourself up in the morning. I got my morning shit I do. My night shit, I got a routine, but it's not every day in the morning. I'm like, all right, tonight we're gonna. And then it goes back to the usual routine. A little CBD under the tongue, a little weed, fucking watching The Sopranos or Seinfeld till I fall asleep. It's literally what I do every single night at like 9:30, 9 o'clock. You know what I mean? And that's not good. I don't like that. I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. But I know there's so many other beneficial ways for me to go to sleep. Now, like if it's a day where if I was to be just grinding away to go to sleep like that, it's like, I bet. Because you just got to escape sometimes, you know, from constant shit.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, but like, that's I'm fucking going to take this episode in and be like, I got to start. Because that's what it is. Like when you really break shit down like that. Like I've lately had more, like I realize I have a very logical, analytical mind. But in only certain aspects. In other ways, I'm like, I have a quick like fuck it switch where it's like I do not want to give you any time and attention at all because I just don't want to deal with it. But if it's like gods and fucking psychology and human anatomy and shit, I'm like, let's go. You know, but if it's learning anything to do with editing or computer stuff, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, and just I really want to start doing that more. Is like reviewing the day. And because if you really want to like, you want to get gangster with it, like while you're here on earth, if you really want to actually demand the best that you can possibly do in your life, and I mean, why the fuck not? It's very difficult because it's easy to coast. I mean, honestly, the majority of us, everyone who's listening to this podcast, I highly doubt there's someone who's ever going to listen to this podcast, at least right now, that's like that's fucked in life. If they don't have a house over their head and they're not enclosed and shit, you know what I mean? So like, we're all pretty good. But now, how long do you want to demand that best? Where you're reviewing, you're setting yourself up in the day. You set your day up. It's planned out. You're reviewing at night. Like that's literally like demanding the best, and you're going to get the most out of life. Now, I'm not saying that's. I'm not saying any of this like I do that already. I do some of the things. But like to really demand the best out of yourself, like the days I do that for myself personally, I feel the best the next day. Like if it's a day where it's like, yo, I didn't order seamless. So like for me, the biggest things are like ordering seamless, which is usually some shitty food that's not good for me, and it's spending more money, and I got Butcher Box in the freezer. Like just use that. I'm already spending 176 on that.
That's me and JoJo at night. Do we get Go Puff? I don't know if you have that out there.
No, I've heard of it though. Same style.
Yeah, it's literally just snacks. Like essentially, I mean, you can get like more stuff, but that's like our go-to.
Yeah,
like
dude.
A sweet.
And it's
at night,
terrible
bro.
because
like,
you're not even burning. You're not even at least walking to your car, getting in your car, getting at parking the car, going to 7-Eleven, get to burn some type of calories to get the. You're not going to earn it whatsoever, and you're getting this fucking stupid. You're getting a reward for your taste buds, for your dopamine. So think about that. You're not even doing shit to earn this. So now you're training your body like, hey, I don't have to do anything to get what I want. Like that's on a deeper subconscious level. That's what ordering food out kind of does to you. Like, hey, I can get whatever I want without doing shit for it. Oh, I spent some money, a couple transactions of some bills here to there, or some fucking numbers on a computer screen.
And that's where my fuck it switch comes in. And then like also too, like I'll say fuck it, order it, and then like let's say it's already 9:00 at night. Yeah, and then like it says it won't be here till 9:45.
Furious now.
Like,
I was supposed to go to
dude,
sleep.
I wanted to go to bed at like fucking 9:30.
And then you eat it and you wake up feeling like shit.
And then I stay up and then I just eat it anyways. And I fucking wake up and I feel like shit. It's a vicious cycle. It's like, so we're not saying we don't do these things.
Obviously, we just said we do it all.
Like we do these things consistently.
We're all trying to get better.
But how do I show up? But how can I still show up and wake up at the time I do and do this shit? I mean, I think that's because the stuff I'm implementing more and more and more and more. Exactly. And like I'm refining my process because I've noticed, like you said. 1 second.
He's refining his process because he noticed, like I said.
Yep, refining my process. Almost had a computer die on me again. Never happening. I can't go. Thought my power strip was on. I know. So I've been like refining my process and stuff, and I noticed, like you pointed out, the days that you do this, you feel the best. Like that's a big thing for me that keeps me doing this because I look back at like the year of business and all the stuff that's gone down. Right? If like obviously I don't like the word failure, but like you definitely got to make some fucking some mistakes along the way to figure out like
failure only exists if you stop. So it is just that mistakes. It's finding out really.
Yeah, it's like mistakes.
Living.
Yeah, you fuck up. Fuck up. Right? It's like, that probably wasn't the best.
It's decision. Just living because I fucking up. None of that. Like unless you truly know like what I'm about to do is gonna fuck things up, then you fucked up. But if you don't know and you think you're doing your best, and if quote unquote it doesn't work out, you could say that's just a learn. Unless you stop. Unless you stop, then you fail. Yeah. But if you keep going, you just learn. Bet. All right, let's take it on the chin and keep going.
I like that way of looking at it.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's like I just so it's like just that. I mean, that's nice because it makes you not feel like shit.
There you go. That's how we talk to ourselves matters, bro. You're going to say I fucked up and failed?
That's a big thing.
If you know, though, if your intentions, like if you know before you do an action, it can be bad things happen and bad things happen. That's when you fucked up. You sit with yourself, you got fucked up. But if what you're doing, like if it's in business, hey, I'm going to drop this, whatever, merch. I think it's going to do fantastic. It sucks. It does nothing. All right, look, learn, find out why. Move. Yeah, but if you just stopped, like, I'm never selling a piece of merch again, then you failed.
But I think like even to that, like speaking on like tracking things, like just like your day and stuff, right? Back then when I think about it, like, and of course, like you have to do this I had to do all this stuff to get to this point. Cause like I would try to do this, right. But I would always try to don't listen to this and go do exactly what I said I'd do.
Do it.
Cause that's exactly what I tried to do. It just doesn't, you can start to implement things like, but you have to just start doing it and figuring it out. And that's what I was doing up into this point. And now I believe like I have refined a process that works really well for myself. And like you were saying, YouTube, like I would always go to YouTube, best morning routine, best night routine.
Now find out what's best for you.
I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this, you know?
But that's also
it's
how
great
you find
because it gives you the ideas, exactly. But you have to don't take it as gospel. And then just like, yes, exactly. There you go. Like you have to like do it. And if it doesn't seem like it's going to work for you, then it's not going to work for you. Simple as that. Don't try to make it work for you. Like it's that simple.
That's exactly how I picked up my morning routine. Is like learning these routines, trying out something like this shit ain't for me, you know. And then some things are just stuck. That's the thing, though. Like you said, you got to go. Don't get married to someone else's idea. Don't even get married to your own ideas ever. I think don't ever do that. It's just an idea. It's not you, right? Don't take it so personal. Chill out. because then people attack it and then you get all upset. Anyway.
So bad.
Anyway, like, just go find out if you want to do this in life. You really, because what it is taking control. Like, I used to be the guy who wake up. If I had to be on a Long Island Railroad train at 5:14, I think left, I would literally wake up 4:45, roll out of bed, wash my face, brush my teeth. I would shower. No, this boy has been fucked up on drugs. So I would. Anyway, you just roll out of bed, you go to work, and then like you're just a zombie. You know what I mean? You're not like, give yourself some time and respect. Wake up earlier. Take the time. Appreciate what you're doing. Like, that's what it is too. It's you're enjoying life more. Like, for me, showering is a huge thing. I got the music going. I do warm and then I do ice for like 5 minutes. Wow, love that shit. And that's just my shit. Like, and Bob Marley's always on. Like, I get going. I enjoyed it. Even when I was working, I would be doing this, getting the day started. Then when I started skating to work, I'd be sweating balls by the time I got there. But like, I just started my day skating, listening to Tool or whatever I was listening to. Like, what are you going to do to me, Job? Rip my finger off? You know what I mean? Like, all right, bring it on. We started the day with a fucking skate sesh, Mo. You know what I mean? So it's like, I couldn't do that, though, if I woke up 10 minutes before I had to go to work. And like, you got to enjoy it more. Like, give yourself.
You could have tried, but you probably would have fucking busted your shit.
Dude.
And like, out the door, go throw the board.
Yeah, exactly. And then I would just be terrible. You know, we all know the outcome. And even like the way you wake up at 3:30 in the morning, that's like, so many people are like, oh, dude, it's so much more beneficial to get that sleep. You know what? You're at a point in life where you can afford to get less sleep and get more shit done. So later on, you'll get a little more sleep. Like, that's me. I sleep because I don't have fucking kids and a wife. So like, I literally sleep. I sleep a lot. I'm like a bear every night, 8-9 hours.
Me and my grandma just had this conversation because, you know, grandmas, dude, they care so much about you and they just want you to like be healthy and all this stuff. And like, me and her were having the conversation about jobs.
Shouts
right?
grandmas.
So, like, you know, I was telling you, dude, my grandma was like a mom to me too. Because I mean, like, my mom went to Colorado for like 6 months of my life. I lived with my grandma then. My mom had 2 jobs until I could pick up a job when I was like 13. So like, I was pretty much raised with my grandma up until that point. You know, all this stuff. So like, she was a big part of my life. Still is to this day. And beautiful. So we're having, love that woman. Love you, grandma.
I do too. I think
she listens to the podcast, which just cracks me up because it's awesome because she like loves it too.
Love you, grandma.
Yeah, she's like, just keep being you, guys. Like,
it's great.
I'm gonna keep doing it.
Cool.
But you know, we were talking, and she was like, "Oh, well, you know, how are you gonna balance this all out, Devante? Like, I'm just really worried, like, because she was like, well, what time do you go to bed?" And I was like, I mean, it depends. Like, me and Jojo will sometimes stay up until 10 o'clock usually is kind of like the regular, but if we had like a crazy day, we had to do dishes because the kitchen's a mess after the kids go to bed and we don't actually sit down together until 9:30 at night, we might be up because I value time with my wife very much so, because it's just we don't really have that time of just me and her, even if it's just sitting down together chilling on the couch relaxing. Like, we just don't have any other time to do that through the day. Like, I have the business, full-time job, the kids. She literally runs the household, the cleaning, the laundry, the dishes, like all that stuff. And I make sure that like the kids are taken care of throughout the day, that, you know, kids are getting down for naps and all that. So we're busy, you know, we don't have time for each other like throughout the day. So we make it at night. That's just the bottom line. And then it's like, oh, well, if I also want to do this XSF stuff and I want this to be what I want it to be, I have to realize like, oh, I can't just go to bed at 11 and get 8 hours, 9 hours of sleep. Because guess what? My fucking kid's up at 6:30, 7 in the morning, bitch. Don't fucking tell me I can sleep 8 hours and still get the shit done I need to get done. You don't fucking live in my shoes. So I can't. It's not going to work. Especially with like the way. Okay, let me rephrase it. It could work if I.
It can't work, dude. How you getting 8 hours of sleep a night straight?
No. Look at this. It could work, but if I didn't look at like if I wasn't so adamant on being there for my kids throughout the day, like I could sit here and do shit on my computer, like the days. So
and sleep later.
I have my full time.
Fuck that.
So no. So here's where I'm going with this. Like if I wanted to, I could get my 8 hours of sleep, right?
8 hours.
But then what? Yeah, 8 hours. But then like I would still want to do this XSF stuff. And then I would have to be like, oh, well, I'm going to sit down here on my days off and do this stuff when I could be playing with my kids and stuff. So what do I do? Well,
priorities.
I wake up at 3:30.
And you can do it.
I get like 5 hours of sleep. And my grandma's like, well, that's not enough sleep for you, blah, blah, blah. And like, I was like, Grandma, listen. I was like, but is it more important for me to get more sleep? Or is it more important for me to be like really just happy doing what I'm doing, knowing that I'm checking off all the boxes I want to check off as a human in life, as a father, as a husband, as a skateboarder, and as a coach?
Wow, dude, like, wow, that is
a good point. And I was just like, see, Grandma, and she was like, dang, all right, well, she got all teary eyed, and she's
definitely
like,
the
all right,
32-year-old
now. I feel comfortable.
In this relationship, yeah. So you're definitely the 32-year-old in this relationship. That's one of the most professional answers I've ever heard in my life. And that's a conversation with Grandma. I'm like, Grandma, I'm gonna get high today. And then try to figure things out. That's gonna be my day. And she goes,
too, like, that's
so nice, Louis.
Yeah.
No, but honestly, that's what it is though. Like your priorities. You know your priorities. You know what you want in life, and that's the thing though. Like we're talking about here is like you know what you want in life, and then you execute. And it's kind of. I'm saying kind of because I feel like it's such a, I don't know, like a privilege for me to even have such a thought, but it's kind of beneficial to have not less time, but like have more things to do, like more things in your life that take up time, because then you are forced to figure out your time that you have. You know, you have to make those choices where you're like, if I want to do XSF like this, what are the choices now? You know, like, and less time with the family same time with the family, less time to sleep. Hey, guess what? 10 years from now, you'll be 34? Sleep fucking 12 hours a night if you want. You know what I mean? Like that's
once we're traveling, once me and you are the traveling, talking to all these skaters and doing what we do, like,
that's what's so dope is you're doing that whole thing when you see like on the Instagram, you know, entrepreneur pages and shit where it's like in your 20s, build yourself up so you don't have to work in your 30s. Like that's literally what you're doing. And it's awesome. You know?
Yeah, it's just like I don't think I'll like ever stop working either because like I don't.
Yeah, if you haven't over what you've been through the last year, that not everyone just, not everyone knows what's going on. But unless you were shot in the head, I could not see that happening.
Yeah, it's just something I've noticed along the way, like along my own journey and stuff, like I really do enjoy being pushed and like pushing myself, but in a way that like forces me to just grow in the aspects of life like where I want to grow, right? So like my values, it leads back to like my values and everything else, right? Like being the best father I can be, the best husband, and like all this stuff, being able to keep a roof over my family's head and like all these things. And like for me, I just noticed like, hey, if you're gonna do this, like it's your life. Like no one else can tell you how to do this shit. No one. Like not my grandma, not my mom, not my wife, not nobody. No one can tell me how to get to where I need to go. So what the fuck do I need to do? Figure it out, G, and just do it. Like figure it out and do it. Awesome. Like it's that simple. And like me and Lou had a conversation about my job situation, right? Went and got a job working with home furniture. I still work there right now. But you know, I'm going and just like, dude, why am I doing this runaround game? Where like I want to be coaching like more people. Like of course, like I want to be in the skate game training skaters, but you know, regardless, I want to just train anybody. So it's like, why not go get a job at a gym? So what I do, put my application out there on the little Indeed website and all that stuff. And I have like 5 gyms that have reached out to me. So like I'm starting to move into that side of things. And that goes into like, hey, figure it the fuck out. Like, why are you doing something that you actually don't want to do? That's just making you feel like you're wasting your time for money when you could just go make that same money doing what you want to do. Even if it might be a little bit less, like it's okay. You're still doing what you want to do. Like that's the big part. And then, yeah, so that's drove me to now having a couple of interviews today and tomorrow and next week. So wish me luck, listeners, on that one.
Yes, good luck. Because I think they're going to hear this after the interviews. But I'll say it for them. No, but like you said, like you touched on, like if you're going to make a little less. But you know what, though? If you're thinking right now, like, oh, you're going to make a little less. But guess what? What you're doing is honing the skills in your toolbox as a professional in the fitness world, in strength and conditioning and shit like that. like that you're literally doing all that to make a little less now to expand it, because the way you make more in this game, from what I understand, is results and like an expertise somewhere. You know, like you don't have to be the guy for sure. Basically what I'm figuring out from my trying to study people in the game, because like I need mentors, I realize, in life. I have this mind that's very loyal to things. Like with Prescript, I get coached on strength by one of the coaches, and if he told me to swim in the East River 30 laps because it's going to increase my squat max, I would do it, because that's how the trust I have and the loyalty I have with him. You know what I mean? And so like I need to find them now within the like progressing this business more. And I have some people I'm talking to, but like I mean the ones that are that's what I'm getting into Chuck Poliquin. Like when you start looking into him, you're like, holy shit, he was the creme de la creme. Like, and his results, that were the thing. That's why he got paid. Like, you can get paid money, but you need results. And to have the results, you got to learn the shit. I mean, the fine in between things, like how to make someone, 0.2 seconds faster to get gold type of shit. You got to know that shit. You got to learn the basics first. And then you got to, like, that's why I'm dying over here not training so many people. Like, I'm training some people, but I want to be at that gym shit. That's why I'm like, when you told me that, I was like, yes, dude, because that's what it is. Like, that's honing the craft. Yeah. Now you can have like all the ideas running through your head. Go test it out. Go find out. You have the clientele to do that at the gyms. Like, you're in the, I fucking love the gym, dude. Just talking about it, like being in it. And I remember I miss like walking in, and when I was working at a New York sports club, before I looked like a caveman, and I had like that clean cut haircut. I looked like the guinea gold. You know what I mean? I just looked like Fabio at 5'4". I just looked like, dude. I was like, forget it. So matched up and coffee in hand, and like, you know what you're doing. Oh God, I fucking love that shit. Like training people and making them fed them when they're getting like that's results, like when they're feeling better, they're looking better, they're showing up, all that shit. Like, oh my,
that was a big thing for me too, is like trying to get into like either like the thing that I thought of too. The big thing for me was like either I go into like a big box gym, just because like there's so much clientele. Like there's no way you're not gonna be able to like apply the knowledge and just work through that, right, and just keep learning and applying. Or I go like the same route in that aspect, but look for like a strength and conditioning gym. And I found a couple around here that actually train like young kid at like the kid athletes and stuff that are doing like soccer, football, all like bunch of different stuff. And I reached out to a couple of them, and they all want me to send my resume in. So that's what I'm working on today, is like refining it to actually send over, because that's Indeed's kind of tight, because it like literally people can find you on there with your resume, but now I have to like download it, do all stuff and send it. But I reached out to them, and that would be sick too, because it's like, all right, now I can think the whole time I'm working with these people, like, how does this apply to skateboarding? Like, of course, like I'm gonna think that when I'm working in the gym, if I'm in like a big box gym like LA Fitness or something, right? But the thing is, it wouldn't be the same as like if I'm actually applying strength and conditioning stuff that would actually be more used in the skateboarding world and stuff. Now, for me, either way it swings, I'm going to be juiced up because I'm going to be doing what I want to do. So it's like, all right, cool.
Dude,
like,
that's the ticket, dude. It's the reps. Oh gosh, dude, talking about,
and there's nothing better when you fucking have that. And I've gotten way bigger too. So like the last time I worked in a gym, bro, I was like probably 150.
Because that shit
like
matters.
168 right now, G.
Yeah, listen.
I'm sitting at like 168.
Son, if there's any personal trainers listening out there, that shit matters. To me,
it matters. You got to look the part.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you right now, I'd rather someone not look the part but know what the fuck they're doing than look the part not know what they're doing. Personally.
Or at least just let me see you training. Like, you don't have to be this ripped person, because like I think that also goes into like genetics and diet a lot. Like, because you could think about it, you could have an amazing training routine and still like have a little bit of flub on you. Like, you might not be the most jacked dude and like have a bicep vein popping out. Like,
we know so much scientifically nowadays that no matter what your genes are, I'm pretty sure you can get shred. But that being said, it's like I'm over here shredded. Like it's very, you got to be dialed the fuck in always. How many people do that? Aren't as many. That's why we talk about them in such a way. But like, I get like, yeah, exactly. Just show me you know what the fuck you're doing in general. Like, I'm only because especially I was at the gym the other day, and oh my god, this personal training kid, this one kid he's box squatting. He has about 175 on his back. He's very capable. It's not like this kid should not be doing this. and he's doing them with a pause, like a 1 second pause, where he's fully resting on the box and then sitting up.
Yeah.
Homeboy trainer comes over. He goes, "Hey man, can I just give you some advice real quick?" Great approach. Yeah. Asks first, doesn't just throw it on him. Mm-hmm. You really shouldn't sit like that for a box squat. You should just tap your butt and stand up, because it'll hurt your lower back. I was just sitting there. I just started twitching. I was like, like, you have no idea what you're talking. Like zero. You have 0%. Not you. Literally just heard that. Like, what? I just started going nuts in my head.
He also didn't even ask why he was doing that specific kind of bug, because there can be so much reason to why you're doing it.
Yeah, but dude, even the information he just gave is so false.
Oh yeah, the low back thing. Yeah,
you're gonna hurt your lower. That was his reason to not sit down into a box squat. You're gonna hurt your lower back.
Get out of here.
Like, he obviously does not know how the body works when you sit down.
No. When you
how often do we sit down with our body weight and through gravity and then stand back up? You gonna tell me what now, because he has some weight on his back and it's transferring through his spine? Is that what you're gonna tell me now? Like, you have no idea why he's doing what he's doing. You're just spewing some stupid bullshit.
Unless you see some crazy, just
that's what I'm saying. If homeboy couldn't even
come the fuck on,
it would be an issue more like, yo, you just shouldn't back squat. Period.
Exactly. Which that would have been.
But that being said. A box squat with a pause is a phenomenal way to teach people how to squat, because a lot of people have problems coming out of the hole when they squat, where it's very easy for gravity and our body weight to go straight down. That's why a lot more people are worse off at producing force to come up. So a back squat forces you to sit down and then stand back up, producing the force.
Yep. You know what a thing I like to do with that too, though, is this is just a little tip I use, is instead of putting 100% of your weight plus the bar on the box, not necessarily hover, you're still sitting there, but you're still pushing through the ground as if you're going to come up. So it's more so 50 to 75% of your weight's on that box. You're not completely sitting. You're pretty much just literally
that's more of
hovering.
A tap. That's like a tap style.
No, you can hold it. You still hold it though. That's the thing, because you can get down and
an isometric fashion. Like, if I'm gonna do if I'm gonna sit down on a box, I pause.
You're still sitting
where my weight is not on the box. Where I'm sitting right now, we're sitting in a chair. My weight's on the chair.
You're sitting like this, yeah. So it'd be more like I'm coming down, right, and you're sitting, and you'd still be on the box. Think if you're sitting on the edge of your chair, you could push up through the ground and take away a little bit of the weight that you're putting into the chair. So that's essentially what I would do, right? Pushing that and then coming up, still pausing and stuff. Because I don't know, that's just a little thing that I've done and I've noticed it.
Fair. It's still another way. Point is, it's not going to hurt your lower back. It's only going to hurt your lower back if you're fucking stupid.
If you're fucking doing it,
my goodness. But anyway, that's the whole thing about I love how we got here after you just getting a job at a gym.
The gym.
But that's the thing though. It's the friggin' trainers like that make trainers like us look bad, because it's this is stupid. Because that's when you just see his intentions are obviously good, because he's looking to teach, but really his intentions are to stroke his ego. Because if he was really looking to teach, he'd look further, deeper into shit to really solidify his thoughts.
Ask him why he's doing.
Yeah, well, not even. But that's what I'm saying though. That's past it, because you already think he's going to hurt himself.
That's true.
So you're not even thinking past, I just want to tell him something I know he doesn't know. That's a good Otherwise, point. You'd sit there and be like, well, would he hurt his lower back? What am I seeing that might possibly hurt his lower back? Or is it anyone who back squats with a bar on their back is going to hurt the lower back? If that's the case, you've never watched videos of people back squatting more than 135 pounds. What are you going based off of your 225 max? And now all of a sudden, the kid's going to hurt his back squatting? You never seen someone squat 800 on their back. But I get it.
Yep.
Because when I first started, I had that Dunga Kruger effect, bro. I knew everything. Yeah. I knew everything.
We all started there, dude. Come on now. I was my whole thing started in the military, because I had the highest PT scores with a couple other people in our platoon, and for me I was I'm fucking fit as hell. I'm faster and stronger than all of you. Yeah. So then went to the little course to do the body weight training stuff with your platoon and all that, and run PT sessions and stuff, and did all that, right? And in my head I was like, hey, yeah, you guys don't know anything. I know this stuff. And then to come fucked my back up and didn't know jack shit about shit. It's the best. So I had to go learn from experience.
But that's the ticket. Life, see, dude, that's what's so awesome about you too. So many people could be like, could have been telling that story, and then it ended after you hurt your back, and that's it. Got on pills, got discharged. Now I'm all fucked up. I'm an alcoholic on the street. Can't provide for my family. You're like, oh, well, I got to figure this out now. I don't know shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, I guess I don't know anything. Like,
I don't know shit.
It was tight too, because like the functional medicine doctor I worked with, he was actually, I don't know if I ever told you this. He was mentored by Paul.
Yeah,
Check.
you did. Yeah, it's dope. Paul Check's a G. I love Paul Check. Because you know what I love about Paul Check is now he's all like what he's about, but he's always been going down a route like that, and he does it all. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I was gonna say. He does it all.
Yeah, he's not just telling you to like create like do rock gardens in your backyard for no reason. Like you look into all that.
If you look back through all the stuff he's done, dude, it's like
and look at him now. Still, I don't think since I've got into him like 5 years ago, I don't think he's aged. At all.
No, bro. At all. Not one bit.
And the way he talks too is so like the way he talks to me is like he's like when I listen to his podcast, he's like a giddy child, but at the same time, at any moment he can just like not snap but turn into the warrior if he needs to. Like, don't fuck around.
Yep.
Like I feel like I sense that just from listening to him. Like because he's so confident in himself. He don't care who he's talking to or what he's talking about. He believes in what he believes in because he's done the research. He's done it. Like he's put himself through the fire with it. Something I love about that guy.
That's a good point to make. That's something too I find really interesting with people like you've never met, but like you just like get those feelings like that from listening to them or watching them. Like that's somebody who fucking
with the craziest thing for me. Now I'm gonna get really going. Yeah. Is lately, since I've befriended more people over the internets, I've had ideas about other people over the internets, and when those ideas come out to be true, you're like, wow, where's this intuition come from? That like and it's been my whole. I hate even talking about this because it's one of those like, who do you? But my whole life, like my uncle who passed away before he married his See You Next Tuesday ex-wife, I was 8 or 9, maybe 10, and I told him it wasn't a good idea. I don't know. The whole family was like, "What do you know? Like you're horrible idea." Long run, it's what killed him. You know what I mean? Like it was a horrible idea. And I've done this a couple times in my life where I've like just spotted it, whatever the fuck it was. You know what I mean? And like lately, even with the internet, I'm like, something's off about this guy. Don't trust it. Don't trust what he's selling. And you talk to some people that actually know homeboy, and you're not bringing it up. It's not like I'm sitting there dragging the conversation. It just happens to show up, and you're like, keep your thoughts to yourself. Like, I kind of had an idea about this. Dude, it's the wildest shit. It's the wildest shit.
That makes me feel really good. One, because like, bet you're going to be able to help me, like XSF, make really good business plays if that's the case.
Gotcha.
2, it means that, we were probably meant to come together and do this shit, bro. Because if that's the case and you're guessing that type of shit at 8 and, you've always had this ability.
I think so, yeah.
I obviously wasn't a little fuckboy out there just spitting the shit. So
I tell you all the time. This episode alone, I stroked the ego like 10 times. Just not even planned. Not even planned, dude. Yeah, that's what it is. That's fucking. It's just crazy. It's crazy when that shit happens. Because then I sit there and I'm like, because I'm not one of those people that sit there and like, I have this gift. Oh, what should I do with this gift? Oh, this gift. I'm like,
let me start a business.
Yeah, something like, who wants to know about their future? Because I have intuition. Like, no, I just sit here and I'm a weirdo in a robe. Just so happens I get some right with some things.
Weirdo on a rope with a nub for a finger and a broken bed. Well, is your bed still broken?
I fucking know my bed's broken.
Bro, you showed me the night after.
Yeah, that's right.
You're like, hey, dude, this happened last night. And I was like, noise.
Yeah, it's still broken as shit. That was literally almost a year ago.
Yeah, bro. That's crazy to think, bro. We've been together for a little bit now, Jew.
Yeah.
Jew.
I
don't know why I said
What did I come in February? Or April?
It was, I want to say April. No, it was March, I think.
I have no idea. It's one of those. It was on my calendar. Oh, maybe I wrote it down in the calendar. It's just obviously not in February. I'm staring at it. A lot of birthdays this month. A lot of birthdays this month.
Yeah?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All my stuff's... Oh, he just realized something. He's like, oh, shit.
Nah. It's a good thing if it happens. You know.
There you go.
Oh, Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yep, Valentine's Day is coming up. Yep, but I think we've talked about some pretty cool stuff, and honestly,
we're now talking about Valentine's Day. I mean, come on,
Valentine's Day. I'm good for the day, so everybody.
But listen, if there's any singles out there that have nothing to do on Valentine's Day, and you don't want to waste away in the Ben and Jerry's aisle, give me a call.
Hit up my man Lou.
Schedule an hour.
Go on the website, book online. All right, everybody. Just know that everybody is capable of being extreme.